A little good requires necessary evil to sustain itself. A trade-off, less soul and serenity for more hopes of obtaining wealth. Look at yourself.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about like energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like we're going to finish up with the whole discussion on energy and petty energy and things like that, because it is really important that you understand that your chi, it flows along your whole complex.
Where will you be when the ball drops? When you see that motherfucker bounce, will your heart stop?
Alright, energy, you know what I'm saying, that spiritual energy is what we use to combat disease and things like that. And what happens is that when you surround yourself with too many energy robbing devices, your ability to fight that dis-ease of the body is compromised. So in a sense, it's kind of like your spiritual energy is lowered. So what as an individual, what you have to do is put things into your body that would it would help you more or less obtain or hold on to that spiritual energy that you already have in you, and keep increasing it as time goes on, as you get older. Because see, the way we have it, or the way we're taught in this life, under these constraints, you know what I'm saying, they tell us that as we get older, you know, our body starts to deteriorate and things like that. But what it doesn't address is the fact that our spiritual energy becomes stronger, okay, as we get older. The only problem is, at what level are we peaking out as far as our spiritual energy? So you might want to say, do you have the spiritual energy of a child at the age of, say, 42? You know, so that's what it is. And, you know, individuals who have a compromised immune system have what you would call a very, you know, their spiritual energy is not very strong. And in a sense, it's kind of like, since it's not strong, what you need to do is to ingest things that would build it up. You see, just because it's in a sense it's living a life that it's not very strong, does not mean that it won't get stronger. You see, so you want to try to eat leafy things, you know. You want to try to create that balance. I mean, everybody's heard of the whole alkaline acid balance. Well, for the most part, most of us have an acid diet. So what we want to try to do is get that balance going, because once we get that correct balance going, we create that electrical energy that is the chi. You see, it's just like a battery almost. You know, I mean, a full power battery is going to work great, and it's going to do what it's supposed to do. You see, but where we're at, we're better than batteries because we keep producing. You see, we have the ability to take in the water, you know, to take in the alkalines, to take in the acids. You know, we can create, you know, our own. We can create and maintain our own homeostasis if we take it upon ourselves to you know, want to handle that sort of responsibility. And when we do handle that responsibility, we bring about a godlike being in ourselves, because, you know, you won't find yourself so quick to turn on the television every time you get bored, as you call it, or, you know, you won't be so quick to fall asleep anytime you're reading a book. You'll understand that what, you know, yawning implies, as opposed to, you know, what being tired really is. You know, I mean, you'll understand the breathing, how to breathe, how to eat correctly, when to get up, when not to get up, when to perform a task, when not to perform a task. All of these things are very important in maintaining a proper balance of energy within oneself. So what I'd like for any and everyone to understand is that the way we are currently living is, as I said before, it's robbing us of that energy. That petty energy is very important. You hear people say things like, you know, don't stare into the microwave, and I mean, don't stare into the TV, don't sit directly in front of the TV too long, things like that. Those things rob you of your spiritual energy, and you need to understand that if you do not have a high-functioning spiritual chi, power, force, aura, you will become sick. Your immune system will become compromised. This is no joke, okay? People who suffer from HIV, cancer, all of these things like this is a direct result of being involved or ingesting items that are not and I repeat, that are not reinforcing your spiritual chi. These things are crippling you, and you can insist on just eating and eating and eating, or just being involved, eating sugar. We assume that the greatest thing that children could ever have, or that we could ever give a child, is sugar. So we reinforce those things. That is the reason why sugar is associated with so much goodness, and our good times and the hearty things are associated with eating lots and lots of meats and breads and acid, just acid. Nowhere, this culture is spreading, and it's like a disease. It's like a disease, and it's taking over. We're hoarding things. We're acting as if this is the end all, and there's never ever going to be any of this ever again. We have to curb. We got to curb this concept of thinking, and start to really assess and take in consideration that this is not the end all to life. It's not all over with once this ends. This is just the beginning, folks. So don't be so quick to get upset when this doesn't go your way or that doesn't go your way, because this is how it works. Okay, if you want to call it life, if you want to call it the cycle, reincarnation, whatever, this is how it works. Okay, and the more spiritual energy you have, the more influence over your life you'll have, the more opportunities in life you'll have. Okay, and this is the importance of developing a positive attitude, because in a positive attitude there is a positive spirit. Okay, that's very important if you are ever feeling under the weather of any sort. You want to have a good night's sleep, you got to make sure you got positive stuff on your mind. You want to dream good thoughts, you want to have good thoughts, you want to create a good environment, you have to have positive thoughts. And this is what we need to get back. Those positive thoughts that take us to the place in our heads and in our bodies where we know that we are one with the universe and the universe is one with us. Okay? But, some of the things that we do, it's not going to take it there. We're not going to get there. I'm not going to say and tell you that more reading is going to bring you there. I'm not going to sit there and say watching more videos or learning more. I'm going to sit there and tell you that sitting comfortably within yourself. The individual that I choose to become is based on the circumstances that have shaped me. For the most part, whether or not I have 2 hands or 4 hands really doesn't even matter, because for the most part I'm doing what I need to do in order to be able to succeed, because when my hands do come together, they always create what I like to call peace. And in that peace, I like to say that I show some sort of love and fascination for myself. For the most part, I like to think that the world owes to me exactly what it owes to you. So, in all agreement and with everything that I have to say and everything that has to be, there is no reason for you to be watching.